Hey everyone, Jeff here, and today we're going to talk about these LEGO compatible brick sets from CaDa bricks. All of these sets were received as gifts or purchased with our own money, so I'm going to do my best to give you my opinion and review of these without any influence from the manufacturer. These three sets here are the Japanese Summer Coffee House, Tea House, and Steam Bun Shop. Each kit is between 1,100 and 1,200 pieces, and retails for an average of about $67. These kits are very feature rich and came with a lot of neat details on the interior and exterior of each of the buildings. I would consider the bricks to be of very high quality, not quite up to LEGO. There were some bricks with a little bit of discoloration or warpage, and I would say the fit and tolerances are about 95% of what you get with LEGO. Each of the models has lots of interior features, so let's open up the Steam Bun Shop and take a look inside. Looking upstairs, we have a loft apartment with a bed and a side table, and downstairs we have a computer desk, some stairs, a painting, and a bookcase. The slats on the windows in the exterior provide a pretty neat effect if you ask me too. And downstairs we have the Steam Bun Shop with steamer baskets, a pressure vessel of some kind, and display cases. The tea house slides open horizontally for access to the interior. Upstairs we have a little tea room with some details that were a little hard to assemble, to be honest. And downstairs we have a little tea shop with shelving and displays. Both the upper and lower front doors of the tea shop slide open and close. No minifigs and minimal accessories are included with this set, and I think that's a miss. So it wouldn't feel so sterile, I built this little K-truck and added our own minifigs. While the coffee shop doesn't have an access panel, it does have this retractable awning on the right hand side, actuated by a small knob in the back. It also has a sliding door on the front and side, as well as this little flap door. One interesting note, CaDa wouldn't ship to us in Rhode Island, or any Rhode Island address. We ended up having these shipped to family members in Pennsylvania. Up top, it has this neat little skylight feature that you can open and close and prop open with a kickstand. I really appreciate some of the grittier and more realistic features, like the air conditioners, telephone poles, and there's even some electrical conduit on the back. There are features built into the model design to allow you to connect the buildings together in a diorama fashion. However, it does block some key features. The coffee shop's awning would be covered by the side of the Steam Bun Shop. So instead, I chose to build this alleyway in between, so all the features can be displayed and accessed on these models. The packaging's pretty nice too. It has kind of a soft touch feel to it. This is embossed and glossy while the rest is matte. Nice thick cardboard, though it ships pretty much in these boxes wrapped in tape and paper. So a little bit of package damage, but otherwise the contents are okay. There were some small issues with the instructions. The primary one is that it refers to the first set of bags as A, and the second set as B. But the bags are labeled 1 and 2. In addition to that, the bags are only separated into 2 or 3 sections, where LEGO tends to break things out into more modular sections, where this is basically just the first half and second half of the build. So you have a lot of open parts out on the table, and you're doing a lot of hunting to find those parts. I've also found some errors in the instructions. Have a hard time finding them again, but for example, it would use a green X and a red check mark to tell you what's right and wrong, and that's a bit confusing. Otherwise, they are full color instructions, good quality print, and generally pretty easy to follow. The sets do include these USB fairy lights, and there are instructions and places within the models to run the wiring, which is very cool, but there's one little caveat. When connected with USB power, you have to turn them on and cycle through 8 different modes to get it to be a solid on light. And you'll even see there's a slight flash here, because what I learned is that I can't just connect this to straight 5-volt USB power and have all the lights turn on. This is actually a small inverter, and these fairy lights run on AC power. You notice there's several in line here in sort of a bus topology of sorts. And what it'll do is it'll use AC power to light up half the diodes while the power is moving in one direction, and the other half of the diodes while the power is moving in the other direction. This is a cheap way to get really neat flashing and pulsing effects alternating in LEDs without having individually addressable LEDs. So this is sort of a cheap way to do that. But the downside is you have to press this 8 times every time you want to turn the lights on the model, and look at it. When you remove it from USB power and plug it back in, it does not light back up. So you have to go and press that button 8 times every time you want it to light up. So I've used my own lighting that lights up as soon as power is applied. And you'll see from my experiment here to take those and connect them directly to USB power that only half the diodes light up, and not at the correct brightness because they're not getting that alternating AC power they're intended to get at different voltages and currents. When in a constant on state, I metered this at 3 volts at 90 hertz, which is pretty interesting. Overall, we had a lot of fun assembling these kits, and combined with our own minifigs, lighting, and other details, I think they make a great display piece. These models seem to be assembled from clones of genuine LEGO parts, and they go together in some new and interesting ways. The result are some assemblies that are really aesthetically pleasing, but may be lacking in structural integrity or ease of assembly. Let's take a look at some of CaDa's other models. We also purchased this treehouse kit at the same price point, and it was a very challenging build, and though it looks really cool, it kept breaking apart on us in our hands. It also included some seasonal pieces with no instructions for installing them. They offer a lot of vehicle kits in the same scale as the LEGO Speed Champions series. In this case, I have a Suzuki Jimny, a Humvee, an FC and an FD RX-7, and an AE86. Taking a look at the FC RX-7 here, pretty neat little assembly, but you'll notice that there's a lot of kind of brick stacking and a little bit less fun in the assembly with these. I believe the Hummer and the Jimny are now discontinued. They were included free in my order as a surprise to me. The other surprise is that all of these kits are officially licensed, and I really liked that the initial D kits had some really neat engine bay details. The Suzuki Jimny is probably my favorite of the set. It's right-hand drive, which is pretty cool, it's scale accurate, and I just love these little things. Shame we don't get them in the US. Thanks for watching the video, I really appreciate it. I think these are really interesting builds. They offer quite a value prop at about half the cost for an equivalent sized genuine LEGO set, and about 90 to 95% of the manufacturing quality of genuine LEGOs. That said, these builds tend to be focused a little bit less on the experience and process like genuine LEGO kits, and more on the end result and aesthetics. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but they may be geared a little bit more towards the adult buyer that wants to display them, and less the kid that wants to have fun with them. Which is a little bit unfortunate, but I still have fun with them, and I really enjoy them. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for checking it out.